Hey, you guys, most targeted citizen. Hope you're having a good day. I'm going to go over an interview. It's not an interrogation. Cops call this an interrogation, but it's not. This is three friends getting together trying to exonerate the other friend. This interview is in Frederick, Maryland. I think it's an internal affairs investigation into either Officer or Deputy Roush. Deputy Roush, he arrested the guy on the screen, Levi Trumbull. Levi Trumbull got his start on YouTube with Sean Porter. If you don't know who Sean Porter is, look it up. He gives school boards and community meetings hell. He's a civil rights advocate, much like Levi Trumbull is. He stands up for civil rights. Well, when you speak out, just like me, when I was punished for speaking out by Longview Police Department, and I've been on a terrorist watch list my adult life. When you speak out, they will hunt you down. So, Levi Trumbull, the young man on the screen, he was arrested for DUI. No alcohol, no drugs, no nothing. Supposedly, a cop gets behind him, stalks him, because that's what cops do. They'll stalk you. They'll get right on your bumper and dare you to make a mistake. If you look in your mirrors, it's a mistake. And I'm going to point this out. We're going through a questioning about the DUI, and you're going to learn during this interview right here. It doesn't matter, because there's a rash in America right now. Thousands and thousands of people are being arrested for DUI who are stone cold sober. You know the old saying, racism is so dead in America that people like Juicy Smollett has to fake it. DUIs are so dead in America, besides all the illegal aliens coming in here and crashing. DUIs are so 1980s that cops have to arrest sober drivers to keep the money coming in. You know why? Because the municipalities, the cities and counties and states that we live in, they don't have to pay when they violate your rights. An insurance company pays. So there's never any accountability when it comes to law enforcement violating your rights, because they pay an insurance company. They pay a fee every month. They pay an insurance payment just like your payment comes in every month. You got to mail it off, $100 for collision insurance. If not, you get in a crash, you're screwed. Well, they pay insurance too, and it covers the malpractice of their officers. The first statement I'm going to let get in is because when a cop does something wrong, guess what? They automatically get an attorney. They automatically get an attorney that doesn't cost them a thing. You pay to defend the cops that violate you. What backwards world are we in? Only in law enforcement can they violate you, kill you, get a paid vacation, and then get a promotion when they get back to work. So what you're going to hear is this guy's attorney, and he's giving a statement. We're halfway through. I haven't watched anything from here on out. I've just listened to his statement. I've been wanting to record the whole time, and I was like, well, I'm going to put it off till I get more information. But I've seen so much, I can't wait anymore. So we're going to be surprised after the 48-50, from the 33-57 mark to the end. We're going to be surprised together. But I want you to hear this statement from this. Remember, this young man, Levi Trumbull, was arrested on the side of the road. He did not cooperate. He did not take any tests. He didn't take anything. He didn't answer any questions. He didn't have to. He did exactly what he has to do, because you don't have to say anything, because it's not a pass or fail. If that cop wants to arrest you for drunk driving, he's going to do it. And he doesn't need any proof whatsoever. And he's going to tell you that. It's called building blocks. You can cover your breath and all that stuff, and you can put sunglasses on, all that stuff. None of that matters. They don't even need to smell alcohol. They don't need to have anything except their paranoid delusions that I'm going to get a drunk driver because I need it on my record. I need to show that and they brag about it. This guy's bragged, oh yeah, I get 20 DUIs every month. They brag about what they do. There are quotas on what they have to do. But remember, Levi Trumbull, this innocent man, had his freedom taken from him, had his car taken from him, had his reputation tarnished because of this terror pig. Reputation tarnished. But listen to this attorney paid by the taxpayers that's defending this corrupt cop. Make the cop the victim.
I do have some thoughts I want to share. because based on my experience, there were some takeaways that I gleaned from the body-worn camera footage that...
And remember, through this whole interview, this lawyer, this union rep is standing up for the cop. Anything that makes that looks bad to the cop, the union rep steps in. And just remember, these are 3 cops in one room. Their whole goal is to protect each other. Now put yourself in the interrogator in his position. How many other follow-up questions could you ask? You can tell this is like a father interviewing his son for murder. Well, you didn't really have a gun, did you? No, Dad, I didn't. You didn't really shoot him, did you? No, I didn't. You're completely innocent of everything, aren't you, son? Yes, I am, Dad. This is how this is. Cops will never, and this is what it never makes any sense to me. If I want an internal affairs guy, I want a guy that's been abused by law enforcement. I want to hire the cop that got violated by cops. I want somebody that wants to go after crooked law enforcement. But we don't do that. We'll get the cop's buddy, the one that they're in the meetings with every morning, the one they go and they on the same baseball team, or they got the same motorcycle jackets they wear, the same blue line gang. How is it lawful? How is it lawful that they investigate themselves? No other thing in the world is like this. No other occupation is you can investigate yourselves and determine you did nothing wrong. The whole system is screwed. It's set up to defeat you, but protect them.
That I observed, and I too noticed the clues, the behavioral issues with Mr. Trumbull, and in my own experience in representing law enforcement and whatnot, I mean, I know how to assess and as my client said, use the building blocks and put together probable cause based on the totality of the circumstances as known then, and based in part on the observations, in large part on the observations of the operator. And what struck me when I saw the video is that Mr. Trumbull was, I'll say, argumentative. He challenged my client repeatedly. Most motorists don't do that. And the consequence of this stop, as you know, resulted in the creation of a very biased and one-sided video that went viral. And as a consequence, and I don't want the ACC to know this, as a consequence, and Lieutenant,
poor little victim.
The client has forwarded to you direct emails he's received from
poor little victim
people hiding behind their anonymity to
poor victim
him or telling him he should commit suicide, so on and so forth.
Poor victim.
This event has taken a tremendous toll on my client and his family.
Oh, the poor cop. He got mean emails. His wife doesn't look at him as a hero anymore because he kidnapped a citizen. Please, Lieutenant Jeff Hyatt, please feel sorry for your co-worker, Deputy Rouse. Feel sorry for your co-worker, Deputy Rouse, because mean words on paper. The people, argumentative, mean words on paper, mean words to face. When you watch, and I've seen the body cam, it's been a long time, I need to review it. I'm going to review it with you. When you watch Levi Trumbull in this stop, you will think that he is the choir director in a First Baptist church. He's one of the most polite, respectful young men. I don't think I've ever heard him cuss in my life. I'm a born-again Christian, and in my recent situation where I'm at and how I'm at, my tongue has gotten away from me, but this man is polite. It's just the simple fact, when you tell an abusive person no, they take great offense at it. So as this union lawyer says, mean words on paper, argumentative, Mr. Trumbull said no, it's all his fault, not the cop that kidnapped him at gunpoint and stole his car. Keep watching.
He's already paid a very steep price for this because what happened out on the internet, it's despicable. And sadly, it won't be the last time it happens, at least with respect to my client anyway. But in the future, there will be something like that. And this particular motorist struck me as being relatively intelligent, or maybe even up there with an IQ. And I wasn't surprised when my staff developed evidence of a similar situation involving this very young man in December of 2023. It's a smaller clip, it's on YouTube, and he's arguing with both of the officers. I think they were officers, not deputies, arguing with them over the PBT and so forth. And so I don't know if this guy gets his kicks to do this.
This guy is a reporter, and he asks cops questions. But look how this union douchebag is vilifying him to Jeff Hyatt, the lieutenant, who's supposed to be non-biased, supposed to be an unbiased party investigating corrupt cop. In a court of law, the attorney representing the plaintiff would have already objected. Relevance, Your Honor. Hearsay, Your Honor. You see, this is the problem when we deal with government, is we're never allowed representation when it counts. Levi Trumbull should have an attorney in this. See, this isn't a deposition. This is an interrogation. You hear how hateful they are. Look at, during this interview, you're not going to see much video from the actual stop. But watch Levi Trumbull. I want you to look for drunk driving. I want you to look at his eyes. I want you to look for all the cues that you're going to hear about and see if you see it. I want you to pay very close attention and tell me, does Mr. Trumbull does he look evil? Does he look angry? Does he look like he wants to get out and fight? Does he look like he's got an AK-59-27 in his back pocket? This is the narrative that these paranoid schizophrenic terror pigs make up in their heads. If I had the thoughts that law enforcement did, you would lock me up for being a paranoid schizophrenic. You would arrest me for being this paranoid of everyone I come in contact with. It is outrageous, the mental illness that is exasperated in law enforcement. They hire them because they're mentally ill. You can see his picture. He's the one down here at the bottom. That little douchebag right there. That's him. And that's him. This is the cop. Corrupt as he can be. But I'll continue.
I have no idea. The red light violation as described by my client to me, they don't come any more blatant. There's a marked Frederick County Sheriff's vehicle approaching the very same red light, and Mr. Trumbull goes by the deputy and slows a little bit, but certainly doesn't yield for the red light. Busts that intersection big. It's not like he hit his light or hit his brakes halfway through and realized what he had just done. He blew it as one can blow a red light in the most extreme fashion. And so I have some serious questions about Mr. Trumbull, but it alarmed me that this is not the first event like this where he's been pulled over for suspected DUI.
It alarmed me that cops are out there like pirates, searching the roads for whom they may devour. It alarmed me that cops are always pulling over people for crimes they think they've done. This is the problem with law enforcement and anyone that supports them. They think that we are born hating cops. You think I hated cops when I was born? I was indoctrinated by my mommy and my daddy and my church and my teachers and my school and my coaches. Cops are the good guys. Worship them on 9/11. Oh, we worship our first responders. No, I, like many others, have been awake for a very long time. I was one of the first people on the cops are corrupt bandwagon. It was me. I was on Facebook before almost anyone else on there saying how corrupt law enforcement is. I've watched the comment sections for 20-some years go from me being the only one pointing out the criminality and corruption in law enforcement to me being the leader of the people redressing their grievances with corrupt law enforcement that are only here to extort, kill, or cage us. I wrote this way from the beginning, and I'm going to write it to the end, whether they take my freedom or they kill me in my freaking driveway.
And he has a field day being argumentative and challenging those arresting officers in that earlier case. And so I just want the ACC to understand, I want the sheriff to understand, there are some policy violations here. We know that. My client did not give out his ID. We know that. We take ownership of we take ownership of that. And the matrix calls for aggravating and mitigating factors in cases. This is a huge mitigation case because I don't think this case can be viewed in the light narrowly about the stop.
Yeah, because Levi Trumbull knew his rights. Levi Trumbull knew how to say no. Levi Trumbull knew to be within his constitutional rights to say, I will not provide you evidence to arrest me with. That's what that lawyer just said. He said, this guy, remember, he said, he's above average intelligence. If you want one thing to piss law enforcement off, let them think you're smart. They will come after you faster and harder than you'll ever believe, as I've got an audio tape from Longview Police Department Chief. Oh, Mr. Townsend, I know you're smart. You're a very intelligent person. They hate it when you know your rights. They despise the Constitution because it is nowadays, as weak as the Constitution is, it's no different than having a restraining order against a psychopath. It's just a piece of paper, and it will not stop a bullet. It's meant to keep the government at bay, but it's been weakened and watered down so much they spit on the Constitution. They wipe their ass with the Constitution. They could care less.
Viewed more broadly because my client has really paid a dear price.
Mean words.
As a consequence of this.
Mean words.
And he could not have been painted any more negatively.
Mean words.
Light as a sheriff's deputy on social media.
Mean words.
Disgrace. And to me, that should be considered as a mitigating factor.
Mean words.
This has really taken a toll on him.
His wife doesn't think he's a hero anymore. His kids know he's just a road pirate.
And on his family. None of us wants to be the subject.
Oh,
no! Self-serving, chopped up, inflammatory, biased, out of context video.
Nobody wants to be followed down the road, pulled over and kidnapped by an armed terrorist. No one wants their freedom taken away, but mean words on interweb, no!
And I know there's a segment of our population that just doesn't like the police.
I hate them.
And some of those commented and showed their heads.
I hate them.
And it's great when you can hide behind anonymity.
I, the most targeted citizen, despise every man and woman in law enforcement. They are a scourge on our society. They are the demise of the American middle class and poor. They seek out poor people who cannot afford to defend themselves, and they extort us for every dime they can. And if you do not bow, they will drive you into submission like they've tried to do to me. Although they've taken all my money in the court system, they've taken all my money in the social services realm. They've stolen everything from me. This federal government and local government stolen everything from me. The only thing I have left is a voice.
The handle and all that other nonsense. But my point is, this is a big price for my client, and I would ask you to take that into consideration, and I'm asking the sheriff to take it into consideration as a very large and significant mitigating factor when this matter is ultimately reviewed. And I thank you for listening. I thank you for the time to share those thoughts, but I feel very deeply and seriously about what my client's been through. It's been a nightmare.
It's a nightmare.
All right, it is 4:55. Unless anybody has anything else, I will be terminating the recording.
It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. Words on interweb. Mean words on interweb. Nightmare. We'll start the interrogation, the friendly interview.
All right, what's happening out there? Levi Trumbull here, and stay tuned. We have a video that you're not going to want to miss.
Go to Levi Trumbull's page. Tell him I sent you. He's a good kid. I dig him. I'd be proud to call him my son. Good kid, Levi Trumbull.
Second of, we have the audio tapes from the internal investigation of my false DUI arrest back in March. This was just released to me. It contains the interrogations of all the officers that were involved, but specifically the arresting officer, which in this instance is Deputy First Class Christian Rausch. He was interrogated for multiple administrative charges relating to failure to properly identify his behavior during the stop, my DUI arrest, and the subsequent failure to appear at the court dates for the tickets that he issued to me.
He arrested this kid for DUI, kidnaps him at gunpoint, then writes a bunch of tickets for him, and doesn't even show up for court. That sounds, wow, that sounds like he was trying to punish somebody, doesn't it?
The person conducting the interview is Lieutenant Jeff Hyatt. He does the internal investigations for that office. Remember that in this instance, I was sober and blew zeros on the breathalyzer, and I also beat the tickets in court because the officer never appeared for his court date, likely because of all the factual information that was on the ticket was incorrect. I also want to remind the audience that despite the claims that I might have been arrested for DUI of a substance other than alcohol, in the original video, the arresting officer clearly states that, quote, if I hadn't had anything to drink, this could have been real easy. And also, the other police officers seem to contradict the arresting officer's opinion that I appeared to be under the influence. It's all very interesting stuff. I do think the interrogator could have pressed more on some other issues that I believe are highly relevant to this case. But with that said, I want to now play you these audio tapes. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and we will keep you updated. If you need to refresh yourself on any of the previous videos that we've done, links to that will be in the description. So with that, guys, check it out and let me know your thoughts.
Now remember, I want you guys to go back and watch this video. It's on Levi's channel, the body camera footage. I want you to go back and watch it. I want you to remember everything this cop says. I want you to look for the things he says he sees. And I want you to understand, especially the people out there that want to take a drink and drive, or even you sober people, it doesn't matter if you're drunk or not. It doesn't matter. Never blow. Never take a sobriety test. Never give up your rights. Stay silent.
Deputy Rausch, can you state your name and your rank, please?
Deputy First Class Christian Rausch.
Okay. And how long have you worked for the Sheriff's Office?
Here.
For the Frederick County Sheriff's Office?
Approximately 4 years.
Approximately 4 years.
Yes, sir.
And while employed by the Frederick County Sheriff's Office, did you complete a law enforcement academy?
No, sir.
Okay. Prior to working for FCSO, did you work for another agency as a sworn officer?
Yes, sir.
And what agency was that?
Montgomery County Sheriff's Office.
The Sheriff's Office for Montgomery County?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So think about this. This is a young cop. He can't even be 30 years old. He's already on his second job as law enforcement. Already on his second job. So does he have issues at the previous employer? Because we know there are gypsy cops. They screw somebody over, they shoot and kill somebody, they beat somebody up, and their lead officer or their chief will come up to him and say, hey, I'm going to let you retire so I don't have to fire you, so it don't go on your record, and I'll give you a recommendation to go somewhere else.
And approximately how long were you employed there?
3.5 years.
Okay. And during your time there, did that include a law enforcement academy?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And during that academy, did you receive training on the enforcement of impaired driving?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And was that the standard 40-hour NHTSA class?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And during your time, whether it be with Montgomery County or with Frederick County, have you completed any other training related to impaired driving enforcement?
Other than say in service.
Outside of in-service, so like any specialized advanced training?
No, I don't think so. No, sir. Let's put no for that one for now.
Okay. To your recollection, have you received any in-service training, whether it was here in Montgomery County, related to impaired driving enforcement?
Wet labs and stuff. Oh, I'm sorry. That's the other training. In Montgomery County, we did a DUI lab.
Okay.
For like impaired persons.
All right. Okay, so this complaint involves a traffic stop from March of this year, and the driver of the vehicle that stopped is Mr. Levi Trumbull. Going to when you first observed the vehicle, Mr. Trumbull's vehicle, where did you first observe his vehicle at?
He was headed northbound on Route 355 at the intersection with Lowe's Lane.
Okay. Mr. McAndrew, just so you're aware, I do have a map of the intersection available.
Thank you for the lead-in, but I'm well acquainted with the area.
So he was traveling north on Urbana Pike?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and at Lowe's Lane, approaching past Lowe's Lane?
He was coming up to the intersection for Lowe's Lane.
Okay, and at the time you first observed him, where was your vehicle at?
My vehicle was in lane 1, his vehicle was in lane 2. I was lagging behind a couple of yards.
Okay. Had he passed you at some point, or was just...
I was just traveling the same direction.
Just traveling the same direction, and you had been behind him? Okay. And during this period, did you observe his vehicle commit a traffic violation?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and what was that?
He proceeded through a solid red light through the intersection.
Okay, so that would be, based on the way you described the route of travel, there was a red light for traffic on northbound 355?
Yes, sir. It's a 4-way lit intersection.
Okay.
He proceeded through the northbound light on Urbana Pike.
Okay.
I do not know if there's dash cam from this deputies. Levi, I think, denies it. I haven't been refreshed for this case. I just saw the video pop up, and I always love to listen to liars. I study body language. I listen for pauses. I listen for stutters. I watch hands. I watch eyebrows. I watch ears. I watch mouth. I watch everything. I study the human anatomy to learn how people lie. I can close my eyes and just listen to someone's cadence and see if they're thinking about what they're going to say, and the words they use to inflect whatever lie they have. I'm a human lie detector. That's the people that know me. That's why they can't stand me, because they can't get away with their bullshit stuff.
Did he...
I need to interrupt, Lieutenant. I hope you don't mind, but I just want to get on the record, given the nature of this particular case and the video.
Remember, this is a union rep paid to represent this terror pig. He gets tax dollars and he gets donations from the police unions. His main job is to protect any and every criminal cop out there. You will very rarely ever find a union rep that will tell law enforcement to fire a cop. There are law enforcement agencies that fire cops, and the unions will sue that law enforcement agency and put that criminal cop right back on duty. Police unions must be outlawed. We must outlaw qualified immunity. If there is no accountability, then there's never going to be safety with the American public.
The scene. I just want to clarify, it wasn't the vehicle that ran the red light. It was a vehicle that was operated by Mr. Trumbull, as later identified by Mr. Trumbull, and he's the violator, not the vehicle.
Again, I don't know if it's been proven that Levi Trumbull ran the red light. I don't know if that's proven or not. We know cops lie, and you're going to see this cop lies during the entire questioning.
Thank you. Thank you for indulging me.
Okay. All right. So the violation that you observed was that the vehicle failed to stop at the red light.
Yes, sir.
So, like, did the vehicle brake at any point, slow down, stop, and then proceed to the red light, just continue straight on, normal course of speed?
The vehicle slowed slightly enough where I saw brake lights, but then proceeded through the red light without any indication of stopping otherwise.
Okay. And after observing that violation, did you initiate a traffic stop?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you recall where you activated your emergency equipment?
Just past the intersection.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's saying that Levi Trumbull was beside of him, and Levi Trumbull ran the red light. If he was beside him, that means the cop was running the red light as well, right? Because he didn't say, I was slowing down to stop for the red light, and Mr. Trumbull kept blowing through it and barely even hit his brakes. He didn't say that. So he was right beside Levi running an alleged red light. I dare say the light was yellow. I haven't seen any proof otherwise. Just my own opinion.
Okay. During the period from when you activated your emergency equipment until his vehicle came to a stop, were there any indicators you observed as far as like the vehicle complying or not complying?
The vehicle continued northbound at a reduced speed. I did not remember that speed. Just drove northbound. It seemed to like it slowed in reaction to my presence, but did not stop.
Okay.
So what this dumbass deputy just said was, he put on the blue lights. He put the lights on, and Mr. Trumbull slowed down and was trying to find a safe place to pull off. I'm interpreting what he's saying. I'm interpreting what really happened. Because what he's saying right now is Mr. Trumbull ran a red light and he was so drunk, he kind of slowed down and he was trying to elude law enforcement.
And at some point the vehicle did come to a stop?
Yes, sir. It pulled left into a dealership.
Okay. All right.
And I want you to notice, look on the other side of that road. You see any places to turn off in this direct view that you see? Do you see any street lights on that other side of the road anywhere? It's just a sidewalk and a road. There's not even an easement. It's just a direct sidewalk, nowhere to pull off. So if Levi Trumbull would have pulled to the right-hand side of the road, he would have been taking up a lane, endangering his life even more, being on the side of the road with a terror pig and a firearm.
Do you recall if the vehicle signal when it turned left?
I do not recall.
Okay. All right. So the vehicle comes to a stop. During this period, from looking at your body camera footage, it appears there's another deputy with you. Were you in a field training position that night?
Yes, sir. It was,
Oh, yeah. By the way, this young prick deputy, who's not even 30, this young prick deputy on his second job as law enforcement is a field training officer. He kidnapped a man at gunpoint who was perfectly sober. And he's in charge of training other deputies on how to pull over sober drivers and arrest them.
Deputy Corley's first night, if I may go back, the turn was also of importance. The way he navigated the corner when he was making that left-hand turn was not a smooth, singular turn. It was a...
Okay. He's describing what he calls building blocks. He's already decided in his head, this guy's drunk. Just remember, you'll hear him say it. Levi allegedly ran a red light. Automatically, he ran a red light. He's got to be drunk because I was right beside him and he ran a red light. He knew I was there and he ran the red light anyway. He must be drunk. Building blocks. Remember, he's going to say this. Building blocks.
Jagged series of turns.
Okay.
As though he were turning, correcting.
How can you turn against? How can you turn across 2 lanes of traffic and turn and correct? How many mistakes taking a left turn can a person possibly make when pulling in? This is what people don't understand and you don't understand. There are no right and wrong. Everything you do is a clue to these paranoid schizophrenic people. They are trained that anything you say will be used against you. Anything you do will be used against you. And you're going to hear him explicitly say this in this video. He's going to say legal, lawful things that Levi was doing to protect himself that he presumed to be a response to his intoxication. That's what he's going to say in this video. He's going to say all these different things that Levi did that this cop assumes is intoxication.
Did you find it peculiar he expended the effort to make a left-hand turn going there when he had ample opportunity to pull over on the right side?
Yes, so there's plenty of space to stop along that road on both sides.
Where?
His decision to continue on and then make a left-hand turn was odd.
Okay. Just a quick question. Going to your video, during your initial approach, unless I miss it, I didn't see a period where you notified him of your ID number.
I did not.
Okay. All right. Do we need to see the video then? If
No, I fully
not in dispute.
Yeah.
okay.
I did not know my ID number.
All right. Let me pause the video.
Brainwashed Academy.
Sorry.
All of these are recorded. Yes, sir. How are you?
Is there?
What?
Do you want to provide any reason or explanation for why you didn't?
I don't have a reason. It didn't come out of my mouth.
Okay.
I wasn't hiding my ID. It just didn't fall out of my mouth when I was supposed to properly identify. See, this is a policy meeting. This isn't a criminal court. It should be criminal. He should be arrested for kidnapping a man at gunpoint. This terror pig should be arrested for kidnapping an innocent man. That's what should happen. But unfortunately, it's law enforcement, and all they do is they investigate a policy violation.
So generally on traffic stops, and from what I can tell, this happened here. You have a period of the initial approach. It advises the reason for the stop, collect documents, return the vehicle, make your assessment, issue paperwork, whatever, return the vehicle. During that period of your initial approach at the vehicle, was there anything during that interaction that led you to believe there may be some indicators of impairment?
Yes, sir. So from the initial approach, so I only do a driver's side approach.
I want you to listen closely to everything that he says. And everything you think about a DUI stop is going to be changed from here on out. You need to get this in your head. It doesn't matter if you're drunk or sober. It doesn't matter if you smell like booze or you smell like Polo cologne from 1987. None of that matters now. In the day and age that we live in, police state United States, you are prey. They are hunting you on the streets of America. They want to take your money. They want to take your time, and they want to take your freedom. Understand me. They are hunting you on the streets of America. DUIs are so low, they have to now fake it. They have to arrest you for being sober now. Listen to all his clues. He ran a red light, allegedly. Then he made several corrections when he turned across 2 lanes. How can you make that many corrections crossing 2 lanes and taking a left? How can you make that many corrections? So in his mind, this guy, Levi Trumbull, is drunk, according to this terror pig.
If I suspect impairment.
See?
So based on my observations while the vehicle was moving, I conducted a driver's side approach. It allows me to get a closer indication how the driver's doing.
Why would he want a closer indication? Why? He wants to get up close and smell you. I don't drink, I don't smoke. So when I don't drink and I don't smoke, I can smell weed a mile away. I can smell alcohol in you, and more than likely, I can tell you what kind of alcohol you're drinking because of my sensitivity to those scents. So this cop is already determined, hasn't even talked to Levi Trumbull. You allegedly ran a red light, which I doubt happened, and you corrected yourself while taking a left several times. You are automatically drunk. So anything from here on out, he's building blocks to probable cause.
So on initial contact, I noticed Mr. Trumbull's eyes were bloodshot.
Okay.
He was shaking slightly, like more than a tremble, but less than a full shake, if that makes sense, of his hands. After I advised him the reason for their stop, he repeated every single thing I asked him as if he were trying to say, okay, this is the questions I was asking me, how can I answer this appropriately?
Okay. Bloodshot eyes. Not an indication of anything. Not one indication is bloodshot eyes. That means nothing. A normal human being like you and I would say, oh, bloodshot eyes, maybe he got something in his eye. Maybe he's tired. Maybe he's sleeping. Maybe he's got allergies. But law enforcement, oh, that son of a gun's trafficking 10 pounds of methamphetamines because he's got bloodshot eyes. What did the others say? Oh, he was gripping the steering wheel tightly. He was trembling. He wasn't shaking hard, but he was trembling. When you watch the body cam video of the actual stop, none of this happens. It's all bullcrap. It's all lies. It's all lies to pad probable cause because he had none. I want you to understand through this. He was completely sober. No drugs, no alcohol. Nothing in his system. So everything this cop is telling you, which is an indicator of him being intoxicated or inebriated, it's all lies. Everything in his training is a lie. He arrested an innocent man for lies.
When I asked him for the registration and his license, he hands me 2 registrations, says one of them's good. Not odd in and of itself, but we're looking at impaired driving and persons who are unable to make clear conscious decisions during divided attention tasks, which...
Divided attention task. Let me get your license and registration. That's considered a divided attention task. See, I'm smart. I keep my driver's license in one place close to me in my vehicles, and I keep the registration in the same exact place. It is not in my dash. It is not in my console. It is directly on the side above my window. That's where I keep it, so I'm not reaching around, so they don't have a reason. So they always got a reason to shoot me, so that it doesn't get them scared because they're terrified little pussies. So he's already told you. He's building blocks for probable cause.
The traffic stop usually is for the person being stopped.
So if you got multiple registrations in your dash, you're in a hurry to get that stuff to the cop. You're in a hurry. I need to hurry up and show him. But if I show him the wrong one, I might show him the wrong one, and you can't see because he's not going to let you get a flashlight. And he's going to be pissed off if you turn the interior light on, so you can't move. You need to sit there and give him what he wants. Well, if you're not organized like you should be, because they're hunting you, you need to be organized. So when he hands 2 registrations, here's both my registrations. I don't know which one's which. He's just determined that's another clue that you're intoxicated. He handed 2 registrations, a good one and a bad one, and that means you're drunk.
See the kinds of things a lot. The repeating the questions.
So if you're listening to a cop give you commands, and you repeat the commands back because you want to do everything the cop wants you to do, that is an indicator that you're intoxicated. He just told you. Everything I said to him, he repeated it. He was repeating it because he was drunk.
He handed me multiple of something that might be correct. While looking for his driver's license, he actually handed me 2 credit cards. Picked up 2 credit cards, sorted through them as if he wasn't sure what they were.
All my credit cards and my IDs in one place in my wallet. They're all together. They're not in a little pouch that's got my picture and a little piece of plastic covering it. So if I pick up my wallet right now, I have to pull my credit cards out and I have to go through it and find my ID. Levi Trumbull did that, and guess what? That's an indicator that he's drunk too. Trying to find the driver's license that this terror pig requested means he's drunk. Trying to give the cop the registration means he's drunk. There is nothing Levi Trimble can do to make this cop not believe he's drunk. It's already in his mind. I am arresting you for DUI. It doesn't matter if Levi fell over dead and didn't say a word the rest of the night. He was going in that cop car to jail.
Put them back down and said, I don't have my driver's license on me. I also noted when he wasn't messing around with documents in the car, he was tightly gripped, like white-knuckling the steering wheel directly in front of him.
How do you white-knuckle a steering wheel when you're holding your wallet going through credit cards? How is that physically possible to hold the steering wheel tight as hell and go through your credit cards and hand the cop a registration and credit cards? How is it possible to do that? So because he was holding the steering wheel, because they tell you when a cop pulls you over, put your hands on the steering wheel at 10 and 2. If you put your hands on the steering wheel at 10 and 2, you are inebriated. You are drunk, according to law enforcement.
Okay. I have your incident report as well, and I'll provide a copy as well, Mr. McAndrew.
May I interrupt yet again?
Please.
Thank you. Are we going to continue with observations he made on the initial approach to the vehicle? Because there's a component I think is important.
I was planning to, yes.
Yes, sir. Okay, I'm not trying to tell you how to do your job, Lieutenant. I just don't want to overlook an opportunity.
Understood.
That's fine. My apologies.
Is there... Okay. So if you look at the second paragraph, so go to the top of page 2. I have a separate copy for you.
Second paragraph, page 2?
The first
paragraph of page 2.
First
Sorry.
paragraph, okay.
So the second line, it says hands were shaking. And then on the last line, it says repeatedly clenching his jaw.
Yes.
Hand shaking. 2 registrations. Looking through credit cards. Now, clenching your jaw means you're intoxicated. He hasn't smelled any odor of alcohol yet. He hasn't slurred his words, but he's doing everything else that a body does. And cops never think that, oh gosh, you're nervous because you know this terror pig can kill you.
Okay, so I'm bringing attention to those because from the notes I just took from your previous answer, that wasn't mentioned. Is there something like, if we watch the video, would you be able to identify the points where he's doing that?
Those indications, yeah. The clenching jaw, obviously it's hard to see. He does it sporadically, and it's towards when I go back up on the second approach. That kind of behavior continues, and that goes on to the duration of the rest of the stuff.
So he just changed his testimony. First he said it was in the first bit when he was trying to assume probable cause. But then he went, go back. Whoa. No, it's the second time after I've already established probable cause. That just adds to it. Him clenching his jaw sporadically. What does that mean? He closed his mouth and swallowed 1, 2, maybe 3 times. He swallowed. And that's an indication that Levi Trumbull is intoxicated.
Including in the
It's paranoid schizophrenia.
The reason why I'm asking, and this, we're still talking about the initial approach here,
Okay.
is the way the report's written. This paragraph to me looks like the initial approach paragraph, because the next line of the new paragraph following is DSG Roush returned to his vehicle. So that's why I specifically asked about like the clenching of the jaw during the initial approach.
They have to pad the report. They have to keep throwing little clues in. They have to keep building the blocks of a prison cell for Levi Trumbull.
Yeah. To be honest, I can't remember exactly when he started clenching
See,
his jaw.
it went from initially when he walked up clenching his jaw to after he came out the second time clenching his jaw. Now, I don't know when he was clenching his jaw. Are you getting it yet? He's lying under oath.
Of note at the time, this report was written that same night.
Okay.
But this is after a 2-hour DUI investigation.
Okay.
It occurred some point either on initial approach or on the reapproach to conduct field sobriety.
Okay.
He swallowed sometime.
Contact with the driver prior to field sobriety being.
He swallowed sometime.
About being conducted.
Don't know when he swallowed, but he did.
Okay. Is there anything else from the initial approach that I haven't asked a specific question, or while talking about it, popped in your head?
The first car walk up to the car. That's what we were just talking about. Okay.
Correct. Yes.
To my knowledge, no.
Okay. All right. During the period after the initial approach, you returned to your cruiser.
Yes, sir.
During the period where you're in your cruiser and before you make the reapproach, were there any observations that you made about Mr. Trumbull's behavior that led you to believe he may be impaired?
So at that point, I've already believed he's impaired. I'm talking with Deputy Corley, who's new here, obviously not new to police work, but new here. So he's standing outside my vehicles watching.
Watch this. I want you to listen to this very closely. Remember all these building blocks this dumbass pig is saying. He corrected himself turning when he's turning to the left over 2 lanes. Whole bunch of correction there. Supposedly ran a red light. Supposedly he was fiddling with, gave up 2 credit cards and couldn't find his ID. Then it was tightly squeezing the steering wheel, white knuckling the steering wheel. Then he was swallowing a couple times. What was the other one? Oh, he was trembling. He was shaking. He's got bloodshot eyes. So all these things that he's looking at. Now I want you to watch this. And listen to this. This is another clue to him being drunk. This is the paranoid schizophrenia that we give mentally ill people firearms in America and say, go out and destroy lives. Cops are the most paranoid people on the freaking planet. And they're trained to be this way. If they're not paranoid to start with, they are paranoid when they come out.
Mr. Trumbull, as I conduct license monitor checks, standard practice for me. I don't want to pull someone out of a car who's got some crazy warrant and say, hey man, you do field sobriety? Well, they've got, a felony warrant outstanding.
He's scared.
So while I'm sitting in my cruiser conducting those checks, Corley advises me that Trumbull is looking left and right, and it's just us on this traffic stop, and we are in an empty, closed parking lot. So I look up and I observe Mr. Trumbull turn his head fully left and then fully right, and he does that on repeat until I walk back up to the car.
What do you think Mr. Trumbull was doing? What do you think he was doing? He knows this cop is going to put him in jail. There's not a doubt in Levi's mind he's going to jail. Why? Because he's an activist. Because he speaks out. He speaks out at city council. This pig knows who he is. Levi is looking in the rearview mirror to see what the cops behind him is doing. He's looking left to right from one mirror to the next mirror to see what the terrorists behind him are doing. He's looking to see if the one cop on the right's going to come up and shoot him or the one on the left's going to come up and shoot him. Another sober activity that is explained away with basic second-grade common sense that law enforcement does not possess. It's paranoid schizophrenia. These people are insane.
Okay, so almost like a sprinkler, water sprinkler on a golf course, just kind of
Yes.
left to right, right to left,
Fully
left to
left
right.
out the left window, fully right out the right window, and just endlessly. And there's no passerby, there's no passengers. There.
While he's saying this, I want you to look through the crack in the door and see if you can see Levi's head turning. Because if you can't see it from where this body camera's showing it, then this cop did not see Levi's head doing that either. Didn't happen. But if he was looking in the rearview mirror like 99% of cops do. 99% that people do when they know they got armed terrorists behind them ready to shoot them or kidnap them. This is what you do. You look in the rearview mirror anytime a terror pig with this freaking party lights is on.
There's no stimulus that would indicate that kind of behavior is appropriate right now.
Okay. I want to question something from that answer and also a previous answer that you mentioned. You had talked earlier about how your general rule of practice is that you'll do a driver's side approach if you believe the driver may be impaired.
Yes.
And doing a driver's side approach in this case, based on your observations of the vehicle in motion, led you to believe that impairment was a possibility, a certainty?
A possibility.
Okay.
As with anything, it's building blocks, the totality of the circumstances. So when I receive that many indicators, to stop at a traffic control device, in and of itself, not odd. Then slow to stop, fail to provide a constant smooth turn, which is huge for impaired driving, and then stopping in all location, all the
allegedly running a red light. Slowing down to find a safe place to pull over for you and the cop, and taking a left into that safe location that is fully lit so you don't get shot. But you still will get shot. Lawful legal activities are building blocks to arrest you for DUI. He just told you that. Building blocks. Levi drove a little further to find a nice lit place, a safe place to pull over. And because he did that, that means he's drunk.
I was like, okay, DUI could be a possibility for this stop. And then our initial approach that builds more with the bloodshot eyes, the shaking, the repeating answers or questions, handing me multiple documents, the difficulty of the divided attention tasks. That raises it up even more to where I'm saying, okay, I have reasonable suspicion that this person is impaired.
That is mental ill. This fucking cop is insane. Law enforcement, you are insane. You need to be deprogrammed. You have been brainwashed by your training to think that every man, woman, and child is out to shoot and kill you. Every man, woman, and child is inebriated or intoxicated. Every man, woman, and child's got 10 pounds of methamphetamines. You have been brain controlled, brainwashed. You are no longer safe to be in my country any longer because you can't have basic elementary school reasoning. You are insane.
Let's go build sobriety to see if we can either confirm or dispel that reasonable suspicion.
Okay, so after your initial approach, you're walking back to your vehicle. Were you the opinion that he was likely impaired, possibly impaired? Like, when you walked away with his license, or with his registration rather, like, were you adamant, or
I was above 50%.
above 50% at that point?
At that point, that he was impaired, and I wanted to conduct field sobriety to say, because I can be wrong. It could be something else. It could be, hey, I haven't slept in 4 days. Hey, I just got off a long shift. Hey, I'm on some new medication. It's doing some crazy stuff to me right now. There's always other reasons. That's what.
And if he would have said, I'm on some medication right now, it's doing crazy stuff to me, that's drunk driving. It's drunk driving. Even his examples put you in prison. Are you understanding the insanity of this shit? It makes me so furious how many lives have been destroyed by these freaking terrorists that hunt us down every day and night trying to steal our money and steal our freedom. It isn't about keeping you safe. It's about keeping you down.
field sobriety tested for, but in walking away, I would say yes, more than 50% positive that he was under the influence of something.
Okay. Just to clarify, there was some conversation when you were back in your cruiser doing the wanted checks, and I just want to confirm that and make sure that I heard it right. One, Deputy Corley asked about the odor of an alcoholic beverage.
Yes.
And your response was that you did not detect the odor of an alcoholic beverage?
Correct.
Okay. And then it seems like there was some conversation about how his appearance or how he was dressed.
Listen.
Yeah, Corley asked, said, it looks like he's on a night out. And I said, yeah. Like I said, he's new here, so he's making observations, just relaying that stuff to me. And he's talking about his observations from the passenger side as to where we are in the investigation. And I told him that it's his first night. I was like, just tell me what you think, tell me what your questions are and stuff like that. And that's just an open conversation because he came from Tennessee. So things are very different down there. So he's walking me through where his mind's at while I'm noting that my observations are in line with his, but he's just noting some things that are also consistent. So that wasn't.
If you're dressed nice, listen to me. If you're dressed respectably, if you have slacks on and a button-up shirt, I don't even know if it's a button-up shirt. If you are clean and well kept, that is another reason that you're drunk. Why don't you understand? Why don't you understand how insane this is? If you dress and you're clean and you don't stink of alcohol, you are intoxicated. This is the insanity, people. If you're dressed nice, you must be drunk. You must be out chasing whores all night because you're clean.
Anything to do with the DUI investigation or something he mentioned, and was wondering, like, hey, is this something you guys consider up here to be a part of it?
Okay, so that was a comment initiated by him, like a line of conversation initiated by him?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. And you finish your business in the cruiser, you return to the car, driver's side approach, and Corley goes to the passenger side. Excuse me. During that period, before you asked him to step out of the car, I know it was a brief interaction, but was there anything else during that interaction that led you to believe he may be impaired?
As I'm walking back to the vehicle?
And basically from the time you leave your cruiser to the time you ask him to step out of the vehicle?
Yeah, he's focused entirely on Corley.
Okay.
I talked to him on the driver's side, and no one wants to talk to him, and I seemed to surprise him standing back at the driver's side where I just was.
Okay.
So now, this guy that's dressed nice, that asks questions, that tries to comply with the officer at every chance he gets, he's now drunk because he's talking to the officer on the other side of the car. He's now making small talk with Deputy Corley. He's talking to the cop on the right-hand side of the car. That's another reason he's drunk now. What the?
All right. And based on an earlier answer, at the time you walked back to your cruiser initially, you were above 50% in your opinion that he was impaired?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
For that specific case, yes, sir.
All right. All right, so there is
too long of a video. I gotta go. I'll come back and make part 2. This is insanity. This is pure insanity. Like, share, subscribe. God bless.